Hey y'all, hey. Welcome to Cosmic Kiss. Hope everybody's having a beautiful, beautiful day. Hope this finds you in a positive space, in a positive place. If not, hopefully the message today can be one of uplifting. But we're going to go ahead and get started with the week ahead spread. How's everybody enjoying this energy, this feisty energy of the full moon in Aries? I don't know about y'all, but the moon was mooning last night. I enjoyed my bath last night, and the way the moon just illuminated my bathroom and that side of the house was just glorious. Okay, I woke up to it in my bedroom window. Just shifting to the other side of the house, it was glorious, just beautiful, and it's been beautiful actually for the past couple of days. So, spirit, ancestors, and guides, we ask you for guidance this week, just some clarity and some understanding, messages of accuracy and relevancy. We thank you. We give gratitude for all that is, all that was, and all that will be as we look forward to this week ahead. So, our overall theme for this week is caution, on the lookout, and a call to action. This is a war horn. Okay. This is a symbol of vigilance, wariness. It is a horn used to prepare for battle or for action, and I think that is very befitting. Hence the new moon. Hence the full moon being about Aries, or being in Aries, because Aries is all about action, a call to action. All right, so let's get some clarity, some daily clarity. A call to action. Now you may feel called to action on, and what I'm getting is call to action on things that you've let become dormant or things that you felt were dormant. There might be a call to action or a need to be on the lookout. Now, since this is a war horn, war means there's an adversary of some sort or opposition of some sort. So this opposition could be internal, as far as our paradigms, our mental state, the way we see things, or it could be external, things getting in our way, distractions outside of ourselves, or actual factual people and places and things that are, trying to block some goodness. Either way it goes, this is a call to be cautious. So as we ask for clarity for this message this week, the overall theme being caution and on the lookout, call to action, heavy Aries energy. Can you give us some more specific details, more clarity on what to expect this week? Gratitude. Okay, I'm sorry. So for Monday, we have the Outcast. For Tuesday, we have the Ace of Water. For Wednesday, we have the Village or the Tower. Thursday, we have Two of Air. For Friday, we have Baba Ogun. For Saturday, we have the Hangman. And for Sunday, we have the Three of Fire. All right, so let's break this baby down. I got to fix the chords because I be kind of just drawing them down. All right, so what I'm getting off bat with the Outcast card, to me reminds me of the Fool card. And only because the Outcast is like the one that's just doing its own thing, whether everybody's in line with it or not. In essence, the risk taker, the one who's kind of like written off as just living in the crowds, living in their dreams. So I'm getting like aloof energy, but aloof as far as aloof as, how do I say this? Aloof as the dreamer, the dreamer. So what I don't know, it's weird because like the messages I'm getting is like aloof, dreamy dreamer, aloof, dreamy dreamer, aloof, dreamy dreamer. And my eyes just got really heavy. So maybe like Monday should be like a day of rest, or there might be some restful energy needing to be kind of like tapped into. So with the aloof person, they don't really have a tight schedule. They kind of just go with the flow. So Monday is giving flow, just flow. And even though we often look at the aloof person as irresponsible, a lot of people who look at risk takers irresponsible, but sometimes the risk takers see things in the way that the non-risk taker or the more traditional person may not see. So I'm getting like some relaxed energy, because there's one thing about the outcast, or this aloof, and I'm gonna keep saying this word because it keeps popping up, this aloof energy. It gives me the concept that God takes care of fools and babies. So in this case, it's like, even though you might feel like there's something else you should be doing, that you have like this grace, this covering, this protection in this, in regards to call to action, that seems contradictory, since the overall theme for the week is, be cautious. But sometimes cautious is just kind of going with the flow and seeing how everything plays out. Because if you just rush into something, like the Fool card sometimes represents, you rush into something without seeing everything, there's a good chance there's something that you might miss. So almost like being aloof gives you the opportunity to see things with a greater detail. Moving on to the Ace of Water for Tuesday. So in regards to the Ace of Water, of course we know aces are like the new beginnings, but I'm getting a spiritual new beginning. A spiritual new beginning, and I'm getting this Aries full moon purging. I constantly just see fire, just like purging, like papers, petitions being burnt up, things being released into cinders, into ashes, and this new beginning, which is befitting, seeing that usually you put out a fire with water, but it's almost like the purging of just debris, mental debris, spiritual debris, physical debris. A lot of folks may have been detoxing in more ways than a little bit. Detoxing isn't just specific to your body, but also what you ingest through what you see, what you hear, what you surround yourself with. So it's almost like this dolphin, when the dolphin jumps out of the water, it's like a joyful leap. It's almost like an emergence, a spiritual emergence, an emotion, which may lead to an emotional emergence, because like with this emergence coming out of water, water is cleansing, water is purifying. And so it's like, as you emerge from this water, there'll be some clarity brought. There's some clarity brought about by, the cleansing of this water. And the water represents emotions and spirituality and intuition and creativity. So it's like there's a lot of newness with this card to be expected coming in on Tuesday. We got Cancer there. With Cancer, that's lunar energy as well. That's also motherly and home energy. Maybe some of y'all been cleaning up your house, or have cleaned up your house, or should be cleaning up your house, cleaning up your living space. And your house isn't always just everything isn't literal with spirit. You got your house that you live in, but your body is also your house, your temple. You know what I mean? So there's it's almost like a freshness being brought into this house, a freshness being brought into this building, a freshness being brought into this temple with this. I'm going to move on to the Village card, because there's a lot. It's almost like the more I go around the wheel, the more I'm going to pick up. But I just keep hearing newness, like newness worthy of celebrating, which might, like I said, lead to just like an emotional outburst or upwelling. With this Village card, I guess the reason why I was hanging on to that, because the Village is often a tower moment, but when we see tower moments, towers aren't necessarily negative. Things could be falling into place. Things could not be working out so that things work out. Or in this case, that's why I'm getting like an emotional just upwelling, but not in a negative aspect or not in a negative sense. Like with this tower moment, it's almost like the walls of our mind being knocked down, and the wall that we created in this mind, this wall that we created around our heart space, it was all for protection, because everything out there is bad and everything in here I'm trying to protect. But then it's like the wall gets knocked down, and it's like literally the Garden of Eden on the other side of the wall. So like I'm picturing this tower moment on Wednesday, the day of communication, to be a positive tower moment, because none of the other cards around it even, give it a negative connotation. This is very much giving an unexpected, positively unexpected change or unexpected divine intervention. And I'm just getting a lot of beautiful energy from that. I don't know, to the point that I'm like feeling kind of giddy, um, and everything. And it's funny because I'm looking at Sister Girl laid out on this card, everybody laid out. Sometimes you get so overjoyed, like, I don't know if you've ever, like people like, I cry tears of joy. Like this is what I'm getting, like crying tears of joy, or not even if you're not crying, just getting so overwhelmed that with gratitude, just an overwhelming sense of gratitude, and like this is better than I expected. The almost at loss for words, which is interesting because that's the day of communication, being at loss for words on a day of communication and on a day of change, which would be befitting with that Tower moment. And then we have Thursday, the day of abundance, Jupiter day, and we have the two of air and two balance. We're in Libra season, so we got the two of balance. We have Libra on the card. Libra, and I guess I'm being just drawn into specifically Libra, like balanced communication, a balanced partnership. Since we have air and water elements in this card, I'm getting like a balance between spirit and spirit. But spirit in the form of air communication, and spirit in regards to our own personal, like our own personal spirit. So it's like outer spirit and inner spirit. That's what I'm getting. But there's a union. There's a union happening here. There's something like the Tower, the Village card. We got the Tower. Things falling apart to literally come together. There's a heavy spiritual connotation this week. Just heavy spiritual. And I think it's interesting because last Thursday, there was on the day of abundance. It was something similar. Like we always assume abundance or associate abundance with physical things, but you can be abundant in many ways. And quite frankly, I feel like the more abundant you are in one should assist you in being abundant in the other, meaning the physical and the spirit. But with this, I'm getting like an abundance coming from this union, an abundance of, I don't know, like manifestation in the physical. I'm not gonna say I don't know, but it's just like it's a lot of noise. But it's almost like happy chatter that I'm hearing. A lot of chatter. Oh no, it's like almost everybody's talking over each other. So there's a spiritual union, and I'm getting I and my Father are one, and it's crazy because I grew up in the church, and randomly Spirit will communicate with me with things that I remember, not just from church, but from any spiritual practice that I've shown interest in. And I'm literally hearing I and my Father are one. I meaning my spirit, and Father or Spirit, or God, the universal, omnipresent energy in us all. There is a joyful union. And I'm hearing communicating change, since we do have the Gemini energy over here. And it's funny because the Tower card was on Wednesday, which is Gemini energy, communication energy, change energy. And then we have this energy right here. There's a lot going to be going on in the middle of the week. It's like Hump Day is going to be very transformational. Hump Day going into Thursday is going to be a very transformational days for someone body. I'm going to move on to Friday because I keep stuttering because I'm just getting like this jittery, joyful energy. Like the best is yet to come. Just like wait, just wait. Just wait. Like when I say it's like everybody's trying to talk at one time, but it's happy chatter, it's positive chatter. And then we have Ogun on Friday. And I think this just rounds off beautifully because we have Ogun, who is the Orisha over war, over iron, metalwork. He's also a path clearer, If there's anything in your way in the Orisha pantheon or the Nigerian pantheon, Ogun is the one that you call on to clear a path, to clear an obstacle. But as you can see, he is successfully clearing an obstacle, the dragon in this sense. And this card literally means the triumph over darkness with light, or goodness prevailing in the end. So it's almost like if you were operating in an aloof energy that was pure. You're in a pure space in this aloof energy. You're going to emerge from this aloof energy illuminated, like spiritually, like rejuvenated by this water spiritually. This tower moment, it's almost like coming out, you're going to see things differently, which is going to cause a tower moment, but a positive tower moment. And you and spirit are going to be chit-chatting. Like it's almost like the downloads are going to be heavy. And because of your steadfast, what I'm getting, because of your steadfast faith, because of your steadfast like belief that, belief in your manifestations, but while also keeping a pure heart, because it's almost like things have been kind of like tough, because the dragon isn't easy to slay, like so much so like they have to call a whole deity in to slay this dragon. And here it is, it's like victory, triumph. Friday, we're going to be hopefully we'll be seeing, not hopefully, I'm going to call it in for all of us, that we'll be seeing some type of victory, some victorious energy, victorious triumph over something. And it's interesting because here's the dragon being slayed, but he was probably the one who set this village on fire. So even though this is a positive tower, this tower, you've probably had a series of tower moments, and it's almost like this tower to come is going to be a tower not like the other towers. So here everybody's running amok because it's probably what you've been doing, probably what's been going on. I know, speaking personally and just from my own personal experiences and personal interactions with other people, life has been lifing, okay? Life has been, kind of, I ain't gonna say showing how behind, but life has really been, testing us, testing our faith, testing our belief, testing what it is that we say that we actually want, and whether it's in alignment with who we are trying to be, who we actually are, and who we are to become. And so, like, I know a lot of people have been losing things, in one way or another, but not always in a negative connotation. People have been losing things in a negative way, as far as like losing things and having to start all over, or losing things that needed to be let go. And Friday is almost like summing it up with some victorious energy. I like this energy. And then for Saturday, we have the enslaved prisoner or the hangman. So I'm hearing a top, a tick, a top, a tick. And behind that tick tock, I hear tick, 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 tick. It's almost like one clock is going slower than the other. Like one is counting the seconds and the others is counting the milliseconds. And it's what I'm getting, the slower talk is the divine and the faster talk is ours. Because sometimes being in this position or this almost be patient transition, it's almost like, well, dog, how much more? So that's where the fast tick in the background. But the big tick, the slower tick, because it sounded louder, the slower tick is giving divine timing. And even though your clock is ticking out super fast in milliseconds, guess what? When it's time, both hands will be where they're supposed to be on the proper second, whether it's in your 2 seconds and 2.3 seconds with milliseconds, or just straight up 2 seconds. It's going to be divine timing. And it's just us who's looking at the specific detail because we don't see the broader plan. So it's giving Saturday. Though we might, the end of the week may feel victorious. I'm getting all blessings. All blessings don't look the same. All victories don't look the same. So it's almost like counter victories, big and small. Don't look at, okay, well, my victory at the end of the week was something as minuscule as ... or, ooh, everything I needed has been supplicated. Everything I needed has been provided for. That's a big drastic, but what if this victory at the end of the week may not be exactly the victory you were expecting, because that's another thing. We might be expecting it in the 2 seconds, but like I said, our clock is ticking at the millisecond. So Divine's like, oh, you'll get it in 2 seconds. And we were like, actually, Divine, it was at 2.4. And so that big victory and small victory, it's still a victory. But by the time you get that victory, you're not going to care whether that came in 2 seconds or 2.4 seconds. You're just going to be grateful, or should be grateful, of this victory. And then Sunday, Sunday, we got 3 of fire. And 3 of fire is giving more victory, is giving more success. But I get the physical, because those 3 torches, they're in a triangle upside down. That triangle is in the in a giving position. It is in a giving position when it is upside down. So, oh wow, it's in a giving position, and in the middle, of course, you see that gold, and we all would love for a big bag of gold, or a big something to just kind of like fall in our lap. And maybe that could be, what some can expect. But I'm also seeing a union because of the number 3, and that's that Holy Trinity, like a divine union, like something coming together or working together to give you something. Now, what that means for you, you take what you need. But I'm just getting that keeping a cautious mind, keeping a cautious outlook, and it's almost like I'm here step by step and day by day, taking each day by the day at hand. Sometimes we can get so busy planning the whole week, or planning even the rest of our day, that there are details that we are going to miss, or details that we do miss, things that we overlook, we overschedule or underschedule, or that these awkward gaps in our schedule, which is a good thing because we're human beings and not human doings. But it's like this 3 of fire card is bringing it all together. The events of this week are all coming together, and not just the events of this week, the events of this week surrounding new moon to this full moon's manifestation, and not even just new moon to this full moon's manifestations and desires and hopes and things that we've been working on, for the past year, for the past 6 months, there's a lot of things, a lot of cycles coming together. And this 3 of fire, I'm compelled to look in the book. This 3 of fire is just giving a union surrounding that purging energy, since it's fire. We have Jupiter and we have the sun. So this is a personal victory. This is very much a personal victory. And at the top we have is that Aries? Sure enough. Sure enough, we got Aries at the top of this card. That's beautiful. All right. It says 3 torches in the night form an equilateral triangle and illuminating a sack full of glittering gold ingots. It is as if they were escorting the wealth of these ingots, which shine not only because of their own nature, but also because